Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the heat of the clay court. We start with the ATP Masters 1000 Rome second-round matchup, where we break down the exciting clash between Damir D. Zumher and Lerner Tyne. We look at the recent form of both players and explore why this match could turn into an unexpected battle, examining the value bets surrounding this opening round encounter.
Stop using your finger for notes, sketches, and edits. This Jam Jake stylus pen gives your iPad a smoother, more precise writing feel with palm rejection so your hand can rest naturally on the screen. It charges fast, works for hours, and comes with replacement tips. Perfect for school, work, or creative projects. Check the link in the comments to grab it on Amazon.
Next up, we shift focus to the high-stakes contest between Dino Prizmic and Novak Djokovic. We analyze the incredible momentum Dino Prizmic has built, especially after his qualification run, and how he is looking to challenge the world number one, Novak Djokovic, in his first clay court outing of the season. We'll break down the odds and discuss why this matchup might surprise everyone. Then we move on to the clash between Hugo Humbert and Vit Koprova. We examine the contrasting forms of these two players and look at the betting angles for this developing matchup. We'll see if Vit Koprova's current form gives him the edge against the struggling Hugo Humbert, and what makes this specific pairing a must-watch for clay fans. Finally, we wrap up our Rome preview by looking at the bigger picture, including Jannik Sinner's outspoken frustration over the Roland Garros prize money, and we get a deep dive into the overall tournament schedule featuring Djokovic's return. Don't miss these crucial insights, and make sure you stay tuned right here for all the latest tennis action. The ATP Masters 1000 in Rome presents several compelling matchups, offering distinct value opportunities for tennis enthusiasts, particularly those favoring clay court specialists. The tournament features an interesting clash between Damir D. Zumher and Lerner Tyne in the second round, alongside a high-stakes opening match for Novak Djokovic against qualifier Dino Prizmic, and a contest between Vit Koprova and Hugo Humbert. In the D. Zumher versus Tyne pairing, while bookmakers position D. Zumher as the slight underdog, analysis suggests otherwise. Tyne has struggled on clay this season, having lost 4 of his last 5 matches, including a straight-set defeat in Madrid last week. Conversely, D. Zumher showed significant form in his opening round in Rome, demolishing Mannarino in straight sets. Despite past results, expectations favor the Bosnian to keep the match tight. A suggested value bet points to D. Zumher, covering the game's handicap at odds of 1.91. The Prizmic versus Djokovic contest is equally intriguing. Prizmic, in excellent form and enjoying clay, has won 4 of his last 5 matches, including qualifying for the main draw by winning both matches in straight sets in Rome. Djokovic, however, is entering his first clay court outing of the season after a layoff, having lost his last match in the 1/8 finals. Despite the bookmakers viewing Prizmic as the underdog, the current momentum strongly favors the Croat. Prizmic covering the game's handicap is highlighted as a value proposition at 1.83. Finally, the match between Humbert and Koprova sees Koprova favored by the market, which analysts concur with. Koprova is in solid form, having defeated Marozsan in straight sets this week and playing his best tennis in the opening match. Humbert has struggled on the surface this season, losing 4 of his last 5 matches. Based on current form and recent performances, Koprova winning is identified as a value bet at odds of 1.57. These matchups highlight current form and surface-specific advantages, providing clear talking points for those tracking the ATP Masters 1000 action in Rome. The combined ATP and WTA tennis action is heating up in Rome, with Friday marking the start of the second week of the event, featuring second-round singles matches. The focus remains sharp on the top contenders as players return to the Italian clay courts. On the men's side, world number 1 Jannik Sinner is set to begin his 2026 Rome campaign on Saturday, aiming for a 6th consecutive Masters 1000 title. Meanwhile, former champions Alexander Zverev and the number 3 seed Novak Djokovic are scheduled for their opening matches on Friday. For Djokovic, this marks his first match in over 2 months and his 3rd tournament this year, despite battling a right shoulder injury. the women's draw is equally competitive. Top seed Aryna Sabalenka is seeking her first clay court title of the year, following an upset loss in Madrid. She played her opening match on Thursday, while former champions Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek are also set to compete on Friday. Friday's schedule features several high-profile matchups. In the women's draw, McNally faces Iga Swiatek at 11:00 a.m. on Campo Central. Swiatek, a three-time Rome champion, is looking to rebuild her form. Meanwhile, Borges takes on Rafael Jodar at the Super Tennis Arena at the same time. Jodar, the 19-year-old Madrid breakout star, is building momentum heading into Roland Garros, having reached the quarterfinals in Madrid. On the men's side, Daniel Altmaier will face Alexander Zverev at Campo Central around 1:00 p.m. Sasha Zverev, a two-time champion in Rome, is looking to capitalize on his experience. A significant matchup is the quarterfinal pairing of Dino Prizmic versus Novak Djokovic on Campo Central. This will be Djokovic's first match since an early exit at Indian Wells, as he manages his shoulder recovery while returning to a tournament where he has historically been a strong contender. Finally, Maria Sakkari will face Aryna Sabalenka at the BNP Paribas Arena, marking their first meeting on clay, as Sakkari attempts to regain form after an injury-affected 2024 season. Jannik Sinner has publicly voiced his frustration regarding the prize money distribution at Roland Garros, adding fuel to an existing controversy within the tennis world. Ahead of his preparations for the Italian Open and his anticipated run at the French Open, the world number one spoke out on the issue of player compensation. The discontent surfaced following the publication of the prize pool breakdown for various rounds and main draw placements at Roland Garros. Sinner expressed a strong sense of dissatisfaction, stating, "It's about respect. We don't feel it. We're disappointed. We give more than we receive, not just the top players, but all tennis players." This sentiment is part of a growing labor tension affecting the sport, with Sinner not being the sole high-profile figure to raise grievances about the French Open's financial decisions. The situation has escalated as other top players have also weighed in. Aryna Sabalenka intensified the debate, being even more direct in her criticism of the pay structure. Sabalenka suggested a more drastic measure, telling the media, "I think at some point we will boycott at Roland Garros. Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the only way to fight for our rights." Sinner is currently focused on securing another clay court title at the Italian Open while maintaining his sights on Roland Garros. The ongoing discussion highlights a rift in the tennis community as players continue to voice their dissatisfaction with the organizational plans surrounding the upcoming Grand Slam. Rome is set to host a high-stakes tennis preview, featuring several compelling matchups as the Internazionali BNL d'Italia approaches. A major focus is on Novak Djokovic, who is making a return to the tour. Despite a 2-month absence, Djokovic's prospects for a 25th major title have reportedly improved, and the absence of Carlos Alcaraz in Rome and Paris offers a significant boost of optimism for the 39-year-old Serb. Djokovic will commence his abbreviated Roland Garros preparation by facing Prizmic, a rising 20-year-old Croat. While they previously met at the Australian Open, where Djokovic secured a 4-set victory, Prizmic brings a physically demanding style well-suited to clay, requiring Djokovic to accelerate his game early in the match. The estimated start time for this clash is 8:10 a.m., with live streaming available on the Tennis Channel app. Another rising star on the clay circuit is Jodar, who has rapidly ascended the rankings. Beginning the March season as an unknown hopeful outside the top 100, Jodar is now the 32nd seed in Rome. His journey includes a 250 title, a 500 semifinal appearance, a strong performance against Jannik Sinner, and impressive groundstroke speeds. Questions remain about how he will manage the pressure associated with Phenom status as he prepares to face the 52nd ranked Borges, a solid Portuguese veteran known for his clay game and ability to create angles from both sides. Jodar's match is scheduled to begin not before 5:00 a.m., streamable via the Tennis Channel app. Finally, attention turns to Machova, who has demonstrated the potential to become a dark horse in major tournaments. While the Russian has always possessed strong ball striking, achieving higher rankings has been hampered by a lack of emotional equilibrium. However, her semi-final run in Madrid, which included a victory over Aryna Rybakina, has propelled her from a ranking of 97 to 38. The focus now shifts to whether this version of Potapova can translate her momentum into a breakthrough. The previous matchup saw the older Potapova trail 1-4 against Machova, who reached a final in Stuttgart last month. The estimated start time for this contest is 6:10 a.m., available for live streaming on the Tennis Channel app.